Hello, everyone. Hello, Sarah here. I guess that's just what I say when I come online. I wanted to share this with you. I want to have a conversation today around getting sucked back in. And I think this is a really powerful and important conversation, one that needs to be had because it's not one that's had enough. And it's one that I've experienced a million times in my past, years and years and years ago, when I was still in it, and recognized and realized what it was that I was in, this abusive, manipulative, narcissistic relationship. And there's so many things that go on in your mind when you're in that stage. And when you're in that stage, here's the relationship, you're in it. You're like a part of this. That's like a bad symbol, but you're part of the circle. You're entangled, you're knotted, you're bound up in this, in the energy, in the emotion, in the unconscious beliefs you have about yourself because you're in it. And those have the beautiful opportunity to transform, shift, and change even while you're in it. I remember doing the work or beginning to do this work while I was still in the relationship. And had it not been for recognizing, realizing, and becoming aware of what I was in, and then what it was about me that got me into that in the first place, and that I needed to fix, heal, and change myself. And I couldn't make that person do that because they were unwilling to even take a look at what was actually going on. And they didn't care. They didn't care because it served them. It served them to have me do everything. It served them to have me step in and fix and try and change and smooth and coax everything and do everything for everyone while they got to just go off and live their life and do it. But you realize, okay, I'm in this. And I want to talk about the power of getting sucked back in and what it actually means, because so much of this is wrapped up in a blanket of negativity and heaviness and defeat and dread and disappointment and despair. And so it's very easy in that to beat ourselves up and punish ourselves because we get sucked back in. And this is not a video about hoovering, but it kind of aligns with that same concept of the hoovering, getting sucked back in. There is a powerful and energetic positive to getting sucked back in. And far too often, people beat themselves up because that is what happens when you experience emotional abuse and neglect. It's not that they beat you up emotionally, spiritually, energetically. They did. But the bigger component, the bigger player in the game is how you beat yourself up. And when you get sucked back in, you get sucked back into the beating myself up again. And there's so much beauty in recognizing and realizing and becoming aware of what happened and what occurred every time you said you were going to leave and then you got drawn back in. And every time you said, I'm never going to go back. This is it. This time is the last time. I swear to God, this time is different. And you hear yourself like, oh my God, I sound like them, because you do. And when you can see that, recognize, realize that, and become aware of it and identify what was going on at the time. What were your fears? What were you afraid of? What did you think would never happen if you left? And really, really just maybe not even sit with them, but see them, identify them, and connect with them. What was I believing in those times where I said this is the last time? And what was I believing when I went back? Because I had to believe something different from what I believed when I said I was going to be done. So somewhere in there, beliefs shift and change. And that is the power. That is the beauty of our beliefs. They get to shift and they get to change. So instead of beating ourselves up and saying, oh my God, I'm a horrible person. I can't believe I did this. I should have known better. I got sucked back in. We get to go, yay, I got sucked back in. That means my beliefs can change. Because if I believed that it was never going to get any better, and if it was going to get better, then I had to make some changes, and I'm going to get out because I deserve better than this. In that moment, you believe those things. You hold, you are connected to those beliefs. I believe I deserve better. I believe that I don't deserve to be treated like this. I believe that, you know what, I can get out and I can move on and have and live a much better, happier, more beautiful, more fulfilling, satisfying life. I believe that in that moment. And then when you get sucked back in, the beliefs change. If they didn't change, you wouldn't get sucked back in. There is so much power in that. There is so much power in understanding your beliefs can change, and you are the one that has them. You are the one that has the beliefs that you have. It's not them. It's not them. It's not them. It's not them. It's not anyone else. It's you. And there's so much awareness in this. Okay, I believed it could be better. And so I took a stance. I got angry. I made plans. And then, wait a minute, I got sucked back in. And then we can tell ourselves I wasn't ready yet. That's such a lie. It's so not true. You were ready. If you weren't ready, you wouldn't have had those beliefs that you had in the first place that said you want something different and that you deserve better. You had those beliefs then, and then you believed, wait a minute, I don't know. Okay, let me go back to feeling small, insignificant. Let me go back and give it another chance, because I do want those things, but I want it with this person. Okay, identifying what I do want and identifying that I want a relationship. Incredible, amazing. There's power in that. And then really getting crystal clear on, is it available with that person? Or they're telling me, oh, I'm going to go to therapy. It's going to improve. We're going to change. We're going to get better. We're going to sing Kumbaya and just make love all day, every day. No, that is not going to happen. There's an element of reality here that needs to be drawn in. And when you get stuck back in, you get the reality of that gets pushed out, and then your beliefs change. So good. So rich and so good, because your beliefs get to change. And I want to share what someone just shared after they, so it's powerful. So when you're in the Transforming Past Pain to Present Power program, you will receive an email after each module and after every week that says, what new insights have you gained and what's changed? Because really connecting with the new insights and the things that have changed, you become aware of where you're at. Because when you're in that, you are often so unaware of where you're at that you just don't know which way is up and down, because it's like your head is spinning around. It feels like you stuck your head on one of those baseball bats and you're spinning around and around, and then get up and you're like, okay, which way is north? And you're like, hold on. I need a second. So someone had joined the program and then said, I began to recognize when I am thinking negatively immediately after I start doing it, which gives me a chance to correct it. I'm clapping for the awareness. You don't need to correct being negative. It is natural. It is normal to be negative. It's actually positive to be negative, because it gives you power. It gives you power over the emotion. You don't have to change it. You just have to say, this is what it is. This is how it feels. And this is what it gives me. When I feel negative about a situation, I'm not going to go into that situation. If I feel negative about my hand getting burned when I put it on the stove, I'm not going to put it on the stove because it feels negative. And in this concept of it feeling negative, it causes pain. Well, that would cause physical pain. And it would also cause emotional pain if I'm like, wait a minute, why did you do that? You know better, right? And so there's nothing wrong with negative. There's positivity in negativity, because then we get to see and be. This is here and this is there. Great. Where do I want to be? What do I want to do with this? Where do I need to go now? Where do I choose to go now? What direction do I choose to go? Do I want to continue going straight down this path, or do I want to turn and go down another one? Does that serve me better now in this moment? So she shared, I get to recognize when I'm thinking negatively immediately after I start doing it, which gives me a chance to correct it. It doesn't need correcting. There's nothing wrong with it to begin with. There's nothing wrong with negative feelings or emotions. They're very powerful. They allow us to experience. And this is it. This is the experience. This is the journey. So she said, I signed up for this for a while back and I'm just now utilizing it. That's the beauty of it. It will be there when you need it. These life lessons will be there when you need them. Every time you go back or you get sucked back in, which she shares next, I let myself get sucked back into the traumatic cycle with a narcissistic husband, and it finally exploded. I think the relationship is finally ending. Incredible, wonderful, powerful awareness. This is all about awareness. This is not about situational events in the past. This is about awareness in the present. And that is where your power is. That's why it's called Transforming Past Pain to Present Power. Well, this discard was worse than all the rest. And I know that healing is possible. And he can't make me think I need him anymore. You never need an abuser. You do not need abusers. And there's so much power and truth in that. I used to think the same thing. And that's why I can honor and hold space for and celebrate this now. Every milestone, every experience of achievement and awareness and accomplishment, that you get to have for you is so beautiful. There's nothing better than it, because you do not need an abuser. You do not need a narcissist. You do not need an emotional manipulator. They want you to believe. They don't just want you to think, they want you to believe that you need them. And there's much more power in belief than there is in thinking. Thinking is just a thought. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. In belief, that's where things are deeply rooted and grounded. And he can't make me think I need him anymore. But what's happening is there's inner unconscious beliefs shifting, transpiring, forming, and recreating. We get to recreate this. Just like I was talking about a couple minutes ago, I have felt the bit of relief that I have now when I started the program was enough to convince me it is possible to heal. It is. And the healing is in the transforming. The healing is in the reprogramming of the inner, internal, and unconscious beliefs that we have. And there's so much power in that. So when you get stuck back in, celebrate that, honor that. Where am I now? What was it that I had to believe to come back? And how can I harness and really hold the power and the energy behind my beliefs? And what are they saying about me? What are they having me think? What are they causing me to feel? Because there is a connection. There's a cause and effect. When I do this, then I feel that. And when I believe this, then I feel and I do and I say that. And that's where the big mega power is in the inner and internal and unconscious beliefs that you have about yourself. So when you get sucked back or drawn back or pulled back, honor that, celebrate that. Oh my God, yes, yes, this is an opportunity to see what was different from the last time. How do I feel different? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I believing? Is that true? Is that true? I need an abuser. What? No, that's not true. Right. So what was going on? Was it a circumstantial thing? Was it a financial thing? Was it a manipulation thing? Was it they said something and it triggered you? You're never going to see your kids ever again. Watch what I can do. All the things that I used to hear. Is that true? And what would need to happen in order for that to be true? And what evidence would need to be there to support that? And whatever belief you want to have, what evidence needs to be there to support that? And then really getting clear on what's truly going on. Because what's truly going on when you get stuck back in is you're receiving the opportunity for another lesson, an opportunity for a lesson, for an ability to get present in this moment with what's going on, with what shifted, what changed, what's transpired from the time that you said, I'm leaving, I'm never doing this ever again, I deserve better than this. Yes, 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 to, oh, wait a minute. I don't think that or feel that or believe that anymore. What happened? Where did the change occur? And the change occurred in the beliefs. So really getting deeply rooted and grounded in the beliefs that serve you, that empower you, that light you up inside, that give you that whole body, yes, I can do this. And I don't care if I don't believe that I have what it takes, I will find a way. That is the inner power that you can connect with and feel grounded in that will most serve you. So when you get stuck back in, you get another opportunity to really take a look at what was truly going on. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. It's just a thing. It's a neutral thing. There doesn't have to be a negative or positive connected, attached, or associated with it. It's just a neutral thing. And from that, you get to experience where you are and see where you want to go. And what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? We don't have to be looking a million steps out. In fact, when we do that, it can feel too big, too overwhelming, and too consuming. It can feel like it's going to lead us into an anxiety and panic attack. What is the next step? From where you are, not where you used to be, because that doesn't matter anymore. That's in the past, and the power is in the present. So getting sucked back in is a beautiful experience and opportunity. There are lessons there. There's always lessons. There's always teachable moments there. So I wanted to share this with you, and I know it will resonate and land with you if you found yourself watching this video, especially staying to this point. And when you're ready for the journey of inner healing and powerful transformation of the unconscious beliefs you have about yourself, which change your thoughts, which change your feelings, which change your actions, because they're all connected, I'd love to connect with you. You can find out more information about transforming past pain to present power and the in the links in the description below this video. And or if you're ready to really expedite it and light it up, let's see about working one-to-one together. All right, guys, that is it for today. That is all for now. I love you. I love you. I love you. And you've got this.